Jamie's great. I like him because he's here out of Florida. I just text him on a Sunday or a Monday and tell him to come on or whatever. So
you do realize all the big movers and shakers are out of Florida anyway. So
well, that's true.
Michael Waltz, people like that, yeah.
And then we're not getting our just due.
Secretary of State, everybody's from Florida. The president.
You're listening to the Ed Dean Radio Show. Mike Gallagher is coming up next at 9. Then Clay and Buck at noon on WBOB.
Oh, all right. Coming up on 7:35. Good morning. Right. Jamie Copenhaver, our good friend, been at Fox News, national security analyst. Is that the right title, Jamie? You know?
Thank you. I'll take any title you
Well,
give
I mean, that's
me,
the title they gave you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm saying
it
the right. So, former sheriff's detective here in the state of Florida, former co-task force member of the FBI. You've seen him on Clay and Buck. You heard him on Clay and Buck. So, Jamie's been a friend of this show for over 10 years, and he's got his credit. Jamie, you don't need a national security clearance for this show. We already just allowed you to come in because it works. Anyway, let me get to some of the issues here. I want to play. This is kind of an interesting development. I hope this gets a little bit more, to me, media attention. For those of you tuning in, remember the clip that we played on Friday's show where Fox News' Bill Malugin was embedded with ICE officials for raids in Aurora, Colorado, which has been a haven for some of the Venezuelan gangs out there. Tom Homan says that he believes that the media tipped off the gangs. This is the reason why they went to empty buildings.
Federal officials tell us it felt like this huge operation was really just doomed from the very beginning when they first got things rolling. There had been leaks to the media. There were articles written that this operation was coming, and as a result, they fell very, very short of their goal of arresting dozens of Tren de Aragua gang members.
We've already identified how this operation got leaked. I'll deal with that today.
Border Czar Tom Homan and reacting to a failed federal operation in Aurora, Colorado that ICE officials believe was derailed due to leaks to the media. Hundreds of federal agents from ICE, HSI, FBI, DEA, ATF, and CBP. They were targeting roughly 100 Tren de Aragua gang members at problematic apartment complexes in the Aurora area. The team went door to door throughout the complex. No gang members. The entire complex was virtually empty. At several other complexes, more of the same.
You know, so Jamie, let me, for the audience out there that may just be hearing this for the first time, and I'm going to give Jamie plenty of time here, just let me give you another backdrop. So Holman says he thinks it was members of the media. The reason why you want good publicity, because you're going to get crappy publicity, not that you need the media to give you kudos, but I understand why. They think, and I said, let me speculate, and again, I preface this is just a speculation, that maybe somebody of the media, you know, my field's very liberal, somebody tipped off the gangs. Then after the radio show the other day, our good friend Ron Davis, who's our legal commentator on this radio show and legal analyst who's worked with, you know, government lawsuits, he says, I would have been surprised it was some holdovers from the Biden White House and the FBI. Then Christine Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, the border Barbie, I like her, you know, whatever. So anyway, so she came out and says, hey, the FBI is corrupt. She's insinuating that it wasn't so much the media. Now, Holman says it's the media, which could be. She says she thinks that the raids were tipped off by those in the FBI. Could it be both, Tom? I mean, could it be both here, Jamie? Take it away. What is your observation on this?
No, absolutely. I think you're going to find out through their investigation, Ed, that it's going to be possibly both holdovers of the FBI passing that information down to the media, giving up on methods and operations. I truly believe that probably would be the process to leak that. You would have to have somebody on the inside to actually leak it to the media. So Christy Noem may have just hit a home run.
Okay. Wait a second. If you had to, okay, I agree with you. It could be both. But if you had to pick one or the other, if this was leaked out, would it come from an FBI, or do you think it would be more from somebody from the media?
This call is no longer.
I believe it's going to come through the FBI, and I'll qualify with that. They were FBI agents on these raids. We've seen just within the last 2 weeks of multiple lawsuits from holdover FBI agents that are unhappy with the current administration. And we know that they've had it out for the president for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, by the way, hold on, wait, Jamie, Roger, that right there was an informant tipping off the gang that we were
I'm
talking
wondering
about.
who's like, are we being monitored since we said FBI?
Would you clear that screen? Would you clear that screen right there? So I can see the stuff. I was just looking at it because Roger was hitting me.
I scrolled everything up where you can see it, all the important stuff.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So anyway, Roger was asking, hey, the whole thing about the whole raids, and Roger was texting me some things through the computer screen, which I like. He was asking, if you thought who was the worst offender of this, would have been the media or FBI, so.
But here's the deal. I mean, we've been on operations, Ed, where we've had the media embedded with us. And I remember a particular case where a media market didn't like what we were doing. They asked to join us. That guy actually went out to leak our operation prior to us serving a bunch of search warrants.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, did he know where you were going? You said, come along, you're embedded, but you'll find out when you get there? Or did you tell him in advance where you're going?
This person knew a general location of where we were going. He knew the issues which surrounded our warrants, so therefore it made it easy for this person to guess. But in that case, the guy ended up going out, and to dime us out, he ended up getting beat up and a van burned up, a news van, so it kind of backfired on him. So, I mean, does it happen? Yes, I've seen it happen. And unfortunately, that's the climate. I mean, if you have a legacy media company strongly against a federal agency, they sometimes do silly things.
Did he face consequences, or is he protected by the First Amendment?
He can pretend no First Amendment on narking on cops.
I wanted to make the arrest. The upper echelon asked me, they steered me away from doing that, but I wanted to put the guy in jail.
The guy got a freedom of speech breaking the law. That's a good one, Raj.
No, freedom of the press. I mean, they're allowed to do a lot of things.
No, they weren't.
Under the, I guess, I don't know. I was asking. He could have been arrested, but your supervisor said not to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting.
The bureaucracy, I mean, it's out there every day for these guys that actually go out and do the job. And unfortunately, sometimes it backfires on you.
Yeah. Jamie Copenhaver, co-task force member of the FBI here in the state of Florida, Fox News, a national security analyst. You've seen him on Clay and Buck, and then also former sheriff's detective as well. I brought this to you. Roger and myself were talking about this, and I mean, I felt like that dad trying to tell his son, no, this is the right way of getting this project done. And, of course, the teenager thinks that dad's an idiot. Of course, when you get older, dad's a pretty smart guy. And he tries to revamp the question to see if he can get a different reaction from dad. Dad's like, doesn't matter how you redo the question, the answer is still the same. On my Facebook page, I said I agreed with Trump's Department of Justice lawyers before that judge came through over the weekend. I said I agree with them limiting Elon Musk and his Doge staffers who do not have national security clearance for the Treasury Department. Elon doesn't have national security for that. He's got national security for other stuff. It's not the same. All I was getting at is that I want to see this happen because I don't want to see lawsuits that go weeks into months out there about whether or not Elon and the Doge Commission can look at certain things to deal with how to cut government waste, and because they don't, quote, have the proper paperwork. Jamie, not all national security clearances are the same. You've got security clearance, but it isn't the same for everything else.
That's correct. And to add to that, it just kills me to see Maxine Waters out leading the march. I can't stand to see her do that again. So,
I know.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, if he's going to be combing through these records, especially Treasury, he needs to have the proper security clearance, Ed. That's number one, to protect the integrity of his investigation. But more importantly, it's going to prop the president up, giving him more credibility to allow Elon to do this. I mean, it's only common sense.
Yeah, I don't need.
I agree with those DOJ.
Yeah, I don't need people going, well, it's read only. It doesn't matter. Have you ever heard of the James Bond movie, For Your Eyes Only? Okay, anyway. So that's what I'm saying. I want, because that's like saying, okay, we saw it. Now we have to come back and get the information obtained. Okay, correct. So there's a two-step process. I was thinking about this when I've done ride-alongs, of course, in the front seat, not the back seat with cops, that, hey, Judge, I saw the stuff there, and there, and the judge goes, well, did you have due process? Did you have the right paperwork, the right warrant? No, then I got to throw the case out. I just don't want to see this hung up in court all the time with these national security clearances. That was just me.
And just to follow up on that, that should give everybody, I mean, I feel so much better when those DOJ lawyers came out and said that, because I'm like, oh, my goodness, okay, wait a minute, we have actually a DOJ, Department of Justice now that are helping the president, not that they're on his side, they're his personal attorneys, but at least, hey, this is the proper procedure you need to follow, rather than just giving Elon full access to the stuff.
Right. Well, the Trump White House didn't have to go with it. It wasn't a stop. It was just a lawsuit. It didn't. I mean, remember they still been being sued and they still going on.